Did you ever wondered if you can cram 1,000 vocabularies into your head in just 1 week? I took on the challenge and the results might surprise you. So, I get the tip on YouTube videos, how can I learn a language really fast? And the best tip was to learn the 1,000 most common vocabularies in this language. So, I will try it out in this week and you can hop on my video and watch it and maybe learn from my mistakes and get some tips how you could learn vocabulary more efficiently and more quickly, probably.
Anywhere you go, give it all. Anywhere you say.
So, before starting my challenge, I need to measure how many Korean vocabulary words I already know from this 1,000 most common words. And for this experiment, I will use the Quizlet app. I've chosen a learning set that is already created by a Quizlet community member, and I hope the list is accurate, but I don't want to do it by myself, so yeah, skip this working part. I will now swipe the cards for words I know to the right and the ones I don't know to the left. Sometimes I'm not completely sure because I've been learning Korean for 8 months now and I've seen a few of the words before. I've read them, I have heard them, but however, these words are not in my active vocabulary. I do not use them yet, so I decided to swipe them as unknown. During this process, I noticed that there are a lot of synonym words. Sometimes I see the 3 Korean words for 1 English word, and this concerns me because learning these words without explanation or context, so if you have a text and you know a word, you learn a word in a context of a text or situation, it makes it really hard to remember them without context. And it's also difficult to know which word you should use in which situation. For example, I have seen yogi, dogi, and kogi for there, for the word there. And in English you would just say there. And I know from my lessons that yogi is here, the here there by me, so and yogi is far away there, so far away from me and the person I'm speaking with, and kogi is probably there, far away from me but near the person I'm speaking to. So this information I really miss by just learning vocabulary cards, so I'm really curious to see if I will use these words at all after the week and if I'm learning them and if I use them correctly. So in the end, I identified 728 out of 1,000 words as unknown. So Quizlet used spaced repetition, so I will learn all 1,000 words and review the noun one as well. With 728 words to learn, I need to study a minimum of 100 words a day, and that is tough because an average person can learn 10 to 20 new words a day, but if I do the possible, it's not really an exciting challenge. So my plan is to try to learn the most words in the first 3 days, so I hope I can spend the rest of the week just reviewing them and repeat the words that are hard to remember. So see you tomorrow when the first day of the challenge starts. I have finished my first 20 minutes learning vocabulary and I think I achieved 70 words, but I do not really remember them completely. I just looked them up, I remembered them in the short time, so yeah, I have to remember them for a long time. And my technique is to learn 20 minutes in session without any distractions. And after this I have a 10-minute break, and in this break I do not really, it's important that I do not something where I get new input from my brain, so not more information, just without social media, without videos or etc. Just meditation, yoga, sleeping, cleaning my kitchen. That's a task I will do, and then I will continue to learn after this break, and I will do multiple sessions, 20 minutes learning, 10 minutes break, and we will see how effectively and fast this process will go on. So the half of the first day, it's 12 p.m. 12 p.m. And because I'm not native English speaker, so I was thinking, it's midday. So I have learned in these 4 sessions 220 words, and I'm not sure if I really know them. I just had them once time correctly answered, so I hope I will remember them. And during the 5th session or 4th sessions, I recognized that I couldn't remember the words so properly like at the beginning. At the beginning, my short-term memory was really good and I could remember it. And now I see a word 5 times, or I could not really remember after the 5th time or 6th time, and I see it and I cannot. So I have written down all the really difficult words, and I will find a way how I can learn them in the next days. Maybe I can record some of them and hear them during walking with my dog also. And now I will take a longer break. I will go out in the sunshine, walk a bit and meet a friend, and after this few hour breaks I will continue learning and do a few more sessions, and we will see how this will go, because today is Saturday, so I have to learn a lot of the words. I have to swipe through a lot of the words, so that I can identify which are really hard to learn and which I have to study more intensively than just with Quizlet. And tomorrow I have also a lot of time because it's Sunday, and after that I have to work from Monday to Friday, so there I have not so much time to learn vocabulary and swipe through Quizlet. So finger crossed, and bye bye. One thing I also want to try out this evening is that I have this really dirty list of vocabulary I couldn't remember so well, because it's more complicated words for me, and I want to try to use them because I have in the evening a Korean class on Preply, and I'm talking with my teacher, and so I will post it in front of me, and then I will try to build a sentence with these words. But I think it could be really hard because I never used these words before, because it's not my vocabulary really, so I would not say one's gaze. It sounds not like my vocabulary. But I will try. Maybe it helps to remember it, so I will tell you if it do. So let's see. Hey, today is Wednesday, so quick update. I reviewed 800 of the 1000 words, and Quizlet said that I learned 450, and I have to learn 550, and I don't know how this will happen in 3 days because it took me 5 days to reach this 450 words, and there are a lot of the words I knew before, so the 200 I knew before are probably included. So yeah, I don't know how it will happen, but I try, and I will try and continue also this evening. And yeah, it's not so exciting to show how I'm learning Quizlet vocabulary. Also, yeah, hearing, so yeah, I hear the vocabulary sometimes, and yesterday I tried to write down a few example sentences for the context. I'm not sure if that is so helpful. What I really recognize is that it is helpful to go for a walk, after a walk or after exercise I have more concentration, and the first time in the morning is really effective for me. Yeah, that are a few points I have recognized during this challenge. And now I will have a Preply lesson with my Korean teacher in an hour. So I will prepare 준비해요 for our conversation topic. I will look up a few vocabulary that could be helpful for the questions, and yeah, then maybe it helps with my 1000 words, maybe not. We will see. Hey, quick update. Today is the 6th day, so tomorrow is the last day. So I have this evening and the next 24 hours of Friday, and then I will measure my result on Saturday and swipe the words I know and swipe the words I don't know. And in Quizlet I have now reviewed 900 words and I learned 495. I think so, just 50% of my goal. I mean, it's not bad for a week, but it's not what I wanted to do, and that's the reason I'm a bit frustrated, because on the one hand I do not have the time I want to have, so because of work and meeting friends and yeah, the stuff I have to do during the day, I cannot learn so many hours I want. I learn just a half hour in the morning, and yeah, in the evening before bedtime 1 hour, so I cannot achieve the time I would like to achieve. So yeah, that's the reason why it's now slower with this progress. And the other reason because the progress is slower is I have the theory that the simple words are now marked as learned, so the 500 are now learned. And the words which are more hard or more tough to learn are now left over, and it takes more time to remember them. Yeah, and that's also frustrating. And sometimes I see a word and I know, oh, I have learned this word for 2 days before, I think, and I cannot remember it all. I cannot. So I think it's a bit too much for 7 days. But one point that's maybe a bit more positive, I think I have now more words, more active words, because yesterday I talked with my teacher and I recognized that I remember more words and have more words I really need to use, I think. So yeah, one positive point. And I will continue learning, and we will see. Welcome back. Today is the last day, the day of the reveal. How many of the 1000 words do I remember? Do I remember every word? 80%? 70%? We will see. I have reviewed every word from those 1000 words in Quizlet, and Quizlet said I have learned I have finished my 556 words, and I'm currently learning 444. And now I will swipe through every word and will swipe it left and right if I know, if I don't know. So we have the numbers at the end. And before I will reveal the numbers to you guys, I have a few tips, a few learnings during the 7 days I want to share with you so that you can also optimize your vocabulary learning and learn more effectively. So the first thing I have recognized during the 7 days were my study sessions. So I plan to have a session from 20 minutes and 10-minute breaks, but this worked very well, but I could just do 2 or 3 sessions in a row. More than this was not really effective because after the third session I just swiped through the vocabulary and I couldn't remember anything. So I can recommend to you just do a few 20-minute sessions, just 2 or 3, and then do a longer break. And break is also the next tip I can give you. I have recognized that my concentration was so much higher when I slept before, so in the morning after I waked up, or after exercising, if I go for a run or go to the gym, or after a long walk in nature with my dog, then my concentration was really full reloaded and I could really learn effectively. So that is a good time to do your session after this sleeping or exercising. The third thing I tried out was to hear a recorded version of the vocabulary in passive to have a immersive learning effect, but for me it worked not well to have this passive sound, to have this passive recording. I couldn't remember more or less of the words. I think it's more effectively if you're listening to something actively and then repeat it, or do pause and repeat it and and create an own sentence with this word. I think then it's really effectively and it can help because you have multiple ways of learning. But just turn it on in the background and do something else. It's not working really, really well. The next thing I recommended is during learning vocabulary, sometimes I see a word, it's a bit similar to another word, or I could do a few association, and this works very well if I was creative enough to do so. So, for example, I learned azul for alcohol and also kisul for technique, and then I was thinking, oh, Koreans know a lot of kisuls about drinking sul. So I never forget kisul or sul anymore. Sometimes I was not creative enough for these associations, but if you have some and it's really funny or special or weird, then you can remember the words really well. The last tip is, I think, 2 tips in one. So one is usage and the other thing is context learning. I really, really missed in this challenge context learning because I just downloaded this LearnSet and then just did it with Quizlet, and there were multiple words with the same English meaning. Sometimes I looked them up. I asked ChatGPT to create a sentence with this word and with this word so that I know in which situation I would use this Korean word or this Korean word, because in English it's the same. And this is really time consuming, but I think most effective. So if I would do it again, or if I want to, I would like to try it out, but I think the most effective way is to learn in context. So you read a story or you write a story, and if you read it or if you see a video and this word is dropped in a sentence, dropped in a situation, then you can really remember it very well. I think our brain works like this. And space repetition is nice and active recall is nice, but context learning I really missed, and I think it's a really game changer. And the other thing is usage of words. So if you know when to use and if you can create sentence, I think it's almost effectively. The words where I stopped during Quizlet swiping and I was thinking, oh, how can I create a sentence with it. That were the words I most remembered in the long term. So create sentence, use them. I think it's not possible if you want to learn 1,000 words in a week, because then you have to use 100 words in a day and all new words. So what I can give you as a tip is write down 5 new words each day that you want to use, create your sentence, and then in some time period just use a sentence if you're going out and you see something and you see, this word I know. And yes, I can recommend context learning and use it. So let's start with the reveal of my numbers. The moment you are all waiting for, the hard numbers. Drum rolls. I learned 490 words, and it's not 50%. But it's okay, because science said you can just learn 10 or 20 new words a day. And if you would imagine to learn 10 new words every day, it's a lot. If you continuously learn through the year, you have 3,000 words, and so much. So I hope I could motivate you to do this on a continuous basis. Just learn 10 new words each day. And I also hope that all the things I learned during the 7 days, like sessions and how many sessions you can do and when is the best time to do the session and how to remember words with associations, all those are helpful tips from my side to use. So please write down in the comment if you have any ways or methods that are really helpful for you to learn vocabulary. I would really like, and it would be a pleasure to try them out for me and learn from you guys. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you are now more motivated and have learned a few effective ways of learning vocabulary. So let's see us in the next video if you want, and if you enjoyed watching, you know the game, please like button or subscribe button, or next video, maybe there or there. So see you in the next video.